if you are asking for forgiveness, ask for forgiveness. Don't continue the argument. Come in and say, will you forgive me for failing to lead you or failing to love you or failing to submit to you or whatever the issue is, rather than coming in and saying, if I've done anything to offend you, forgive me, which is another way of saying, get over it, you oversensitive person. No one is going to receive that well.
I need to ask to be forgiven. I need to say the words, would you please forgive me? And would you pray for me as I continue to grow in grace, and pray that God would continue to shape my character so that I'm less and less the kind of person who would do that. It's not, I'm sorry, I'll never do it again. Well, no, I might. I probably will. And that's why there's that last caveat, because I don't want to promise things that I can't deliver on. So yes, it was sinful. It was wrong, and here's why it was. And I really, really want you to forgive me. Would you please forgive me, and would you please pray for me, because I don't want to be that guy. And it's only by the grace of God that will be transformed in me.
There are times when Jose will come to me and ask me to forgive him for something that's happened, and I'm just really not ready. I kind of want to stew in it for a little while. I just kind of I'm not ready. And I have to say, can we talk about this later? There's been times whenever he said, can we talk about something? And I know what he wants to talk about with me, and I'm like, not now.
Yeah, I can relate to
Give
that.
me 15 minutes. Because there's times I'm still angry and I've got to work through it. I think I need to talk with the Lord about this.
Yeah, I agree with that. In fact, I'm learning with Donna, when we have conflict and we're trying to resolve the conflict, the forgiveness piece is really sort of the first step. It sort of opens the door for healing and reconciliation and restoration, but there's still a process that I'm learning we have to work through. Right. I don't think we have an option when it comes to forgiveness as followers of Christ. I really believe the Bible clearly teaches that we are to be professional forgivers, as it were, that we don't have the option to not forgive. I once heard someone say that harboring unforgiveness in our hearts, it's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die, because it does something devastating inside our own lives and inside our own hearts.
Well, when you say, we always hear the terms forgive and forget, and that's just not true. It just doesn't work that way. We're not given the ability just to forget that we've been hurt. And I don't think that gives us license then to bring that hurt up every time. But if it's still there, that means that there's something there, and it still needs to be worked on.
Don't you think that's one of the reasons why people sometimes don't forgive, is because they don't think that they'll be able to forget? So they hold on to it.
Okay,
well, they won't extend forgiveness because they're thinking that forgiveness means I have to forgive and forget.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's a crazy maker, because you can never get there. And even God, while the Bible says that he remembers our sin no more, do we really think that he just forgets it?
Right.
I mean, that's not what that means, right? I mean, what it means is he's not holding it against us anymore. He's not crazy and he forgets.
Right.
And so we don't have to be expected to forget either.
I think forgiveness is always in order, but maybe sometimes it's appropriate to establish certain boundaries and say, I can't continue to make it easy and comfortable for you to keep doing this.
Right. Can't enable them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Or show me what you're going to start. I think it's appropriate to expect behavior to change too. Yes, I can grant forgiveness.
Right.
But
there has to be a change.
Yeah, I do hope to see a change of behavior.
What I've learned through the years is that with Jen, when I grant forgiveness, I've got to do it privately. I've got to make sure, as we've all said, you got to almost take that time to go to the Lord and say, I'm gonna stop choosing to punish her. I'm going to choose instead to forgive her. But then I've got to take it that next step and do it publicly to her and ask for and grant it to her. And then from there, I've got to do it graciously. Just to admit that, you know what, forgiven people, I've been forgiven. How can I refuse forgiveness to her? And then to just do it generously and to say, let's just, the important thing here is not that I'm right or that you're right or that somebody's won an argument, but that a relationship is
Right.
what really
Yeah,
matters.
that's
I
true.
would think it's two people that are, as Raymond said, professional forgivers.
That's good.
They know how to forgive, and they're selfless. They're unselfish people. And when Michelle and I are living in that forgiveness mode and we're unselfish, marriage works.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.